I call these no regret decisions. The kinds of decisions that give you hope for the future and restore your confidence in your ability to handle anything that life throws your way. If you're experiencing a major life transition, uncertainty about your future can be terrifying, and you're likely in panic mode a lot of the time. If there's one thing I know after helping people navigate complex choices, it's that your outlook today will dictate the decisions you make, and that those decisions can impact the next version of your daily life. You are creating your next normal, one decision at a time. That may feel like a lot of pressure, but it's also awesome. Even though you may be having a rough time right now and don't want to make the decisions that lie in front of you, it's comforting to know that maybe, just maybe, you have a smidgen of control over the outcome. To me, that's a relief. I've been through my own personal crisis and major life transitions too. I moved out west for love and realized the moment my plane landed that I was so wrong and should have never come. I was heartbroken, living on the other side of the country without friends or family, and I had to decide if I should stay or go home. Oof. Then came the time when I wanted to quit my high-rolling Bay Street job to start my own business, but was scared to leave the golden handcuffs behind. I had to decide whether to quit or stay. I decided to follow my dream, but it didn't work out right away, and I couldn't afford my new life. Defeated, I had to empty out my savings, take on credit card debt, and then decide if I should keep going or give up. Oof! Most recently, I faced the challenge of parenting my children while juggling work from home during the COVID-19 pandemic and ensuing lockdowns that turned the world upside down starting in March 2020. Ugh. During the first weeks of lockdown, I was exhausted and frazzled. Faced with the unknown, my adrenaline levels skyrocketed on a daily basis. Both my husband and I were fortunate to have full-time jobs that allowed us to work from home, but with childcare having been abruptly closed, we were also trying to take care of a 6-month-old baby and a 2.5-year-old toddler. Every day was a sprint. Total chaos. I knew I was lucky. We were all healthy. My husband, Matt, and I didn't work on the front lines. I had nothing to complain about and so much to be grateful for. But I still felt scared and frenzied and guilty all the time. I had over 200 remote meetings during the first lockdown. It was tax season, so my schedule was packed with back-to-back tax meetings and emergency financial planning sessions. I was painfully aware of how many of my clients had been laid off and were struggling to secure financial support. They were all counting on me to be there for them, to help them navigate everything financial. On top of that, I felt the weight of being there for my team at work while also being a strong emotional support for my kids. Most days, I barely made it through a client session, team call, or media interview without bursting into tears as soon as I hung up. Sometimes, I didn't make it. The day the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit, CERB, was announced, I locked myself in our bathroom so I could do an interview, my 7th of the day, in the shower stall, where I'd hoped the interviewer couldn't hear my crying toddler on the other side of the door. She could hear him. She asked me if I was okay. What is it about that question? I shut my eyes tightly and, even though I knew she couldn't see me, shook my head without saying a word. I couldn't answer without crying. We stayed on the phone, silently, listening to the sound of my toddler wailing for me while Matt tried to calm him down. Then she broke the silence with a simple, I know. It's impossible. Later on, at the end of that particularly tough workday, I went into the kitchen to make dinner. The radio was playing in the background, and in what seemed to be a cruel twist of fate, I could hear a parenting expert being interviewed. The host of the show asked, "So, how do we parent positively during a pandemic?" The guest didn't miss a beat, responding that this was our new normal and that we all just needed to focus on the good things we still had in our lives. According to the expert, appreciation was the antidote to fear.